Looks like we are good to go. Looks like we're ready for the race. I think. Yeah, and before stream taken down. I mean, look. It shouldn't be. You know? Like, what's a guy got to do, you know? Hey, Flamer. Hey, Tom. I was running a little bit behind, but we got here in the end. So I haven't seen any of the race build-up. Yeah. But I mean, listen, how can F1 take it down, you know? How can they? Yeah, I saw something about this on Twitter. What exactly happened with him? Because I missed it. Did he go off on the way to the grid? But it is dry though, right? So how has he gone off? Even papaya? Let's do that. There we go. He hit the curb on the outlet. Fucking hell. Oh, man. Come on. Come on, guys. Like, name a worse. Oh, poor Shal. You have to say, though, that he is the architect of his own downfall at times, though, Charles Leclerc, isn't he? Sorry, I keep looking at the camera over here because I changed the position of it. I keep looking over here. So if I'm looking over this way, trying to talk to you, that's why, because I'm still not used to it being up there. Yeah. Listen, Ferrari. Well, I've seen two ends of this stick yesterday because obviously I didn't stream the qualifying. I've seen two ends of the stick. Some people have said, well, Sainz was out on the same strategy as Charles Leclerc on those inters, and he pitted for the softs at the exact same time and made them work. So some people have been like, well, it's not Ferrari's fault. Charles didn't put in the lap time that Carlos Sainz did. That's one way to look at it. And then the other way to look at it is he said it was slicks, and they were adamant that he had to get a lap in on the inters. And then when he finally came for slicks, everyone had already done their slick laps and it was raining again. So I can kind of see it from both sides a little bit. I know, yeah, it turns out I've actually got a different side to my face. I genuinely do have a whole face. I'm going to have to change around my light and stuff. We've been playing so much F1 in the rig that I haven't even sat over here. Well, to stream anyway. Guys, I've got something interesting that I want to share with you. It's going to be in an upcoming video, but I'm going to share it with you anyway, because I'm not sure if some of you know this. And I thought it was mad. I've been doing some research into Silverstone ticket prices. Right before the Silverstone Grand Prix, I want to talk about how expensive Formula 1 is, and I've planned the video. And I don't know if you're aware of something called the Silverstone Escapade. These are the new houses that are being built on the outside of the track at Maggott and Beckett's. They're like lodges, basically, like a house, lodge, whatever, and you can buy them. They start at £850,000, going up to over 2 million. Okay, these houses. Okay, wait for it though. Wait for it. They're not classed as houses. You can only stay in them for 30 days over a year. And what makes it worse, a Formula 1 day counts as 5. What? So if you stay for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday for Formula 1, that doesn't count as 3 nights. That counts as 5, 10, 15 of your 30 days for the year. That's mad. It's the same for touring cars and MotoGP, but other events have multipliers that are less. It's a timeshare that costs 2.2 million. That's insane, though. So, like, touring cars and MotoGP have a multiplier, but I think it's touring cars is only like 2 times your allowance. So if you stay in them outside of a race weekend for touring cars, you'll only obviously use 1 of your nights. But if it's on a weekend where there's a race, there's a multiplier. Then, if you go over your 30 days, you have to pay a fee as though it was a hotel for a house you've paid 2.2 million for. It's the worst rip-off timeshare I've ever heard of. Well, no, because the way that it works, even though it's a house, it's not classed as a house. It's classed as a commercial building. So apparently it acts very similarly to like hospitality in the pit lane. It's actually not classed as a house. So you're paying 2.2 million for an executive box at a football stadium, I suppose. But it's a house. But you're paying 2.2 million for an executive box that you can use for 30 days a year or 15 days if you want to attend a Formula One race. I mean, it is papaya. It is expensive. A Vegas ticket doesn't cost 2.2 million. Vegas is obscenely expensive, but we're talking, you know, you want to have a crazy weekend in Vegas and a ticket, you're talking 10, 20 grand. You're not talking 2.2 million. You know, like, it's absurd. It's so, you know, and they've taken one of the prime spots to watch the race. You know, Maggots and Beckett is literally one of the prime spots. They could have had a banging grandstand there. I can't remember if there was a grandstand there and they take it down or... But yeah, I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? Anyway. I actually don't know, Turbo. I'm not sure if you can rent them out or whether Silverstone rents them out for you. Because it's actually technically owned by Silverstone. So I'm not sure if you'd be renting them out because you technically don't own it. Or whether you would own it for 30 days. But I'm not really sure how it would work because if I'm paying 2.2 million, obviously I don't want my time there to clash with someone else, do I? So I would have to rent it out, right? I don't bloody know. Either way, I'm sure there's some sort of agreement in place. It's mental anyway, though, isn't it? Investment. Yeah, investment my ass. Bloody rip-off is what it is. But don't worry. Silverstone are doing a really good job of supporting the fans. Grassroots. Yeah. That 2 million house that only the rich can afford. Yeah. Good job, Silverstone. Anyway, Canadian Grand Prix. Who's going to finish second? I'm not going to ask you who's going to win because I think we all know who's going to win. I don't think we have much of a doubt of who's going to win. I think we have a question on who's going to finish second or third. I think Alonso stands a good chance. Yeah, I think Alonso, the Aston Martin seems to have good race pace, doesn't it? Seems to have good race pace, so... I don't think Alonso's going to have the pace to fight Max Verstappen, though, right? I wouldn't have thought so. Does he? Do you think? Nah. I haven't seen the starting tyres yet. Has anyone seen it? Mercedes don't have a set of hards. They're on mediums, I think. Hamilton, I think, is on mediums. I can't really see. Fernando Alonso's on mediums. Yeah, everyone pretty much is on mediums. Mercedes have a fresh set of softs, though, that the top runners don't have. But the top runners have a fresh set of 2 sets of hards that Mercedes don't have. So, the Gasly starts on the soft. Everyone else on medium, apart from the guys outside the top 10. So Perez, Magnussen, Bottas, Gasly. No, sorry, Perez, Magnussen, Bottas on the hards. Sainz is starting in 11th, and Charles Leclerc in 10th. But they're both starting on mediums. Because of obviously Carlos Sainz's penalty. Nico Hulkenberg obviously starts, he has his penalty, but to be honest, I actually don't even think the Haas guys will be that disappointed with starting 5th, because I think ultimately they wouldn't have been expecting to stay ahead of Alonso and the two Mercedes anyway, so I don't think it's changed much for him. Well, Perez needs a good recovery, doesn't he? He desperately needs a good recovery. Bloody desperately. Like, he needs a banger. He's been off sorts, Perez, hasn't he? He's been off sorts. We'd at least be having a good fight if Max had a teammate that was challenging him. At least we'd be seeing like a Rosberg-Hamilton type fight for the win, which would at least be somewhat interesting, But we don't have that because Max is the only person in that team that's really, at a top level at the minute. God, it feels so long ago that Perez won that race, and we thought, you know what? Maybe Perez can actually compete with Max. It didn't go very well for him after that, did it? Bloody hell. It doesn't look like there's going to be rain though, Flamer. Because you guys are on YouTube, you can pause now, so I'll let you know when the lights go on. Those two Ferraris should be rapid, by the way. Sainz and Leclerc should be able to come through the field because they'll be pretty rapid, I think. Bloody Zhou Guan Yu's taking his bloody time. Perez. Alonso sends it, turn 1. Every time they've started on the front row, though, Alonso's got nowhere near Max because Max has blistering start. Right, lights now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's a good start for Lewis, Oh, Lewis is ahead of Fernando. Oh! Verstappen had a great start as well. I might have paused it. Did I pause it? Oh, I think I did. Yeah, I'm actually well behind you guys because I think I paused it, so I'm actually a little bit behind. Yeah, I'll fast forward. It's fine. Oof. Oh, Perez. Sainz has had a terrible start. Bloody hell. Sainz is going backwards. Oh, Perez. Oh. Oof, Kevin Magnussen had to slam on the brakes then. Jesus, that was sketchy. Oof. That was bloody awkward, wasn't it? Verstappen already out of DRS range. Instantly. Yeah, K-Mag did do well to avoid that. So, Leclerc is in 9th. Sainz is in 11th. But Perez is actually back behind Carlos Sainz now. It was a good fight between them, but it's not ended great for him. Just checking out this race start again. It was a great start from Hamilton. I think Alonso just got a poor start. I think Carlos Sainz got ruined a little bit. He had to get into the inside after getting squeezed a little bit, I think, by Kevin Magnussen, and then he was blocked into going into the first corner. He had to get out of it. But Perez got ahead of Carlos Sainz, and then he's ended up back behind him. How's that happened? Yeah, not ideal for Perez. So Sainz got back past him down the back straight. What the hell? But the Red Bull's so quick in a straight line. Like, how's that happened? I wouldn't have thought Ferrari would have got past the Red Bull there without DRS down the back straight so easily. I'd have to have a look. Maybe Perez had a really bad exit. I'd have to have a look. Max is gone. Well, he hasn't gone. He's only 1.1 seconds ahead, but he's not gone. But he's probably just gonna, just chill, isn't he? So we've got a bit of an interesting race going on here. The top four, are fairly close. Fernando's right up Hamilton's chuff now, though. Oh, Alonso hit the wall. Bloody hell. Yeah, Fernando's got DRS now. Yeah, this is going to be tough now for Lewis. Yeah, I need to see the start again to see what happened to Tsunoda. Not had a great start, has he? You see, Hamilton doesn't have DRS and Alonso does. I feel like down that back straight, Alonso's going to get past him pretty easily. Oh, did he really? I didn't see him. I didn't see that. I didn't see him pitting. Yeah, Alonso's got a good drive out of the hairpin. He's going to get DRS here. Charles Leclerc is right behind Norris. Oh, and Charles Leclerc had a bad exit out of the chicane. To be honest, 6 laps in, though, I thought the gap was going to be more than 2 seconds between Verstappen and second place. I'm sure Verstappen isn't going full pace, don't get me wrong. But 6 laps in previous races, he's been 5, 6, 7 seconds up the road. So, I'm surprised it's... I'm surprised it's as low as it is. I don't think that's because the cars behind are doing a great job, though. I think that's because Max is just cruising. I mean, Perez is still in 12th, guys. I will say this for Perez, though. Perez is on a different strategy. He is on the hard tyres. So Perez started on the hard. Sainz, Albon... Well, everyone ahead of him is on the mediums. So I'll cut him a little tiny bit of slack there. But even still, he hasn't made any progress. You know, admittedly, he's got 2 Ferraris ahead of him, which is they're going to be hard to get past. He's in a bit of a DRS train. Problem is, Lewis will be losing time here, having to defend from Fernando every lap. He'll be naturally losing time, having to take a defensive line into the chicane every lap. Yeah, you've got... well, you've actually got Hülkenberg, Norris, Leclerc, Albon, Sainz, Perez, all running in like this really tight group together. Yeah. Look. You've actually got Piastri, Hülkenberg, Norris, Leclerc, Albon, Sainz, Perez. Oh, yellow flag, sector 2. Logan Sargent. Sargent's out. Depending on where he's dropped that could be a virtual safety car. Ooh, it's going to be hard to get around there, Lando. Oh. Oh my god, they all slammed on their brakes for the virtual safety car. Jesus, it was like one of our races going into turn 1. I was thinking, what's Lando doing? And then he slammed on the brakes. Delta, Delta, Delta. Oh, it's ending straight away. That was so quick. I mean, to be fair, he pulled it over as in the best place he possibly could have. I mean, he couldn't have done much more. Oh, I think Hamilton has been ruined by that virtual safety car because Alonso's right behind him, but no DRS. That's weird. Why did Alonso not have DRS? Because after a virtual safety car, DRS is enabled straight away. That's weird. Oh, now it's enabled. Did Bong and Tommy play F1 today? Love that. Yeah, how exactly has Hamilton lost a second, 2 seconds delta there? Verstappen gained quite a lot there. But sometimes that can happen depending on where you are on the track. It just... We know from the game, and I don't know how well the game replicates it, but depending on where you are on the track and when you're able to put your foot down, you can gain from it. Or you can lose. Just depends. Charles Leclerc needs to get past Norris and Hülkenberg if he wants to have a race here. Oh, Russell's also in the DRS of Alonso now. Interesting. Oh, that's a... He just about got that stopped, Oscar Piastri. It's a good move, that. Just about got it stopped. Yeah, Piastri's having a banger up in 6th place so far. Because this year so far, McLaren have had okay qualifying pace, but terrible race pace. But they're doing all right. Norris and Piastri both hanging on there. So, yeah. And Piastri's already miles ahead of Nico Hülkenberg. Once he got past him, he pulled a gap straight away. Yeah, Gasly is coming into the pits, but he was on the softs, wasn't he? Which did seem like a bold strategy, if I do say so. Yeah, the start was all right. There wasn't really a crazy amount to it, to be honest. Verstappen had a great start. Alonso didn't have a great start. Hamilton got past him. Other than that, there wasn't anything mad, was there? There wasn't anything mad going on at the start. It was actually all pretty civilized, to be honest. A little bit of how's your father with Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez, but yeah. This DRS train is mad. It's mad. Like, Hülkenberg, Norris, Leclerc, Albon, Sainz, Perez, Stroll, Magnussen, Bottas, and Nick de Vries are all within DRS of each other. Verstappen hit a bird. God, imagine losing a race because you hit a bird. Oh yeah, Hülkenberg's pitting. Interesting. Oh, shall. I tell you what I'm not happy with. The person who thought it was a good idea to add that wall in after the pit lane. Because now the camera loses track of the cars as they're coming down the pit lane. Because they're covered by that wall. I'm not really sure why they put that wall in. I don't really understand. Oh, what's happened to Russell? Oh, he's hit the wall. Oh, no. Georgie boy. Georgie boy. Oh. Nah, he's out. Oh. Safety car. Safety car. Max is pitting. Yeah, Hamilton's pitting. Alonso's pitting. It's the smart thing to do, I think. They're all just going to put the hard tyres on. Or maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That was close between Hamilton. We've got to be able to have fun fights, haven't we? It just depends. You have to see it back. Oh god, yeah. George just lost it on his own. Oh. Yeah. I'd be amazed if there's not some sort of suspect. There's so much debris. That's not... I don't think he's going to be able... I mean, if that's an unsafe release, watching that back, then fucking racing is dead, honestly. Because you've got to be able to come out into the lane and try and beat another car. Nah, like, come on. We've fucking got to be able to have, like, fighting pit stops. Come on, right? I don't know. I don't know what the stewards will say to that. They could easily say that it's unsafe. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, in IndyCar, mate, they smash into each other. Well, they're going to look at it, unsafe release, so that's a 5 second. He's going to get a 5 second penalty, and I think it will be, I don't know. My gut instinct is if he gets one, it will be harsh, but maybe you guys think differently. I'm open to discussion. Yeah, but it's also impossible to know, isn't it? Like, to a certain extent. You're coming out of your pit box, all cars are pitting. How do you know the exact time that another car will have to... You don't, do you? There has to be an element of common sense and racing, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all for it, but... You can also hit the brakes to make it look like you had to hit the brakes. and Alonso is a wily fox. So, you know, who knows? We'll have to wait and see what they say. I'm honestly not sure what they'll say. I think it'll be harsh, but... Well, that's not what you want. Feedback on the car, George. It's a bit bent, but I think it's okay. Yeah, no thanks. Hey, sorry, George. Yeah, the car's bent. Do you want to go 200 mile an hour? Oh, fucking Hamilton's got damage on his car now. Or is he just talking about... Is he just been talking about the damage that was on the track? He might have been. Evening, Goofed. Why do you think they didn't pit one of the Ferraris onto Hadz during the safety car? Yeah, neither Ferrari stopped. They've gained track position, but all of the cars behind them, well, most of them, Ocon, Piastri, Norris, Albon, Tsunoda, Joe, Hulkenberg, Stroll, De Vries, Gasly, and Russell have all stopped and put on the hard tyres. And Perez, who's behind the Ferraris, started on the hards, so he didn't need to pit. I feel like that they should have stopped at least one of those cars, maybe. Hi, hello, man. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Does Ferrari think that this is better for them with track position now? I don't know. Yay, yay, yay. Oh my god, I didn't see that on lap 1 with Carlos mounting the curb. Bloody hell. Wild. So, I don't know what this is. Incident with Ocon, Bottas, Magnussen overtaken under the safety car. So, we're about to restart. Well, the front cars technically don't have to stop at all, but it will massively depend on tyre wear. Yeah. All clean. All clean on the restart. So these hard tyres apparently have got a little bit of a warm-up. So Ferrari think that maybe they can leapfrog some of these hard running cars. Every car in the field is on hards now, apart from the two Ferraris. Yeah. Yo, yo, yo. There's an advert there for that Paramount TV show, The Tulsa King, with Sylvester Stallone. Has anyone seen it? I see it advertised all the time, but I've not actually watched it. Verstappen already out of DRS comfortably. Oh, the two McLarens. Oh. How's Piastri ended up behind Norris? He was way ahead of him. How has he ended up behind him? Oh! Fucking hell, Piastri. He's getting feisty, isn't he? You think Hamilton's going to get a penalty? Because Norris is being investigated for it as well. Oh, Norris went past him into the hairpin. I tell you what, it was a nice move by Lando. Fair play. Caught Oscar Piastri napping. That's how he got ahead of him. Lovely. Yeah, it was a beautiful move. Bloody cup of tea. So, there's a few cars that haven't pitted. I'm not sure if this is going to work out for Ferrari. I'm just not sure what Ferrari are going to do from here. Because the front guys have already pitted once. Oh. Yeah, that's wild from Piastri. Yeah. Piastri's going to struggle to get past that Williams. There's an unfortunate mistake there. So, because the Ferraris are slower currently than Alonso ahead of them, and those cars ahead have already pitted. So, they're a pit stop behind them, essentially. And that's not... yeah. Maybe they're just hoping track position will work out better for them. I don't know. Well, yeah, they can hang it out for a one-stopper. The problem is everyone else has done their one-stopper under the safety car. So... that's what I mean. That's the problem. I wonder how far those medium tyres are actually going to go. Oh, Norris! Oh, it's a great move by Lando. Round the outside of turn 1, which turns into the inside of turn 2. Lovely, that. Lovely, that. Russell is still in the race, by the way. Incredibly, Russell is still in the race. Yeah, I need to look back at how Hulkenberg has ended up in P15 from P5, to be honest. I mean, obviously, a number of cars ahead haven't stopped. So, who is it? Leclerc, Sainz, Bottas, Magnussen. That's 4 positions. Oh, he did, yeah. He did. He stopped before the safety car. You're right. Oh, he literally stopped like 2 laps before the safety car, didn't he? That's why he's been ruined. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Oh, he's been ruined by that, hasn't he? Completely forgot that he'd just gone into the pits. Yeah, absolute bloody nightmare. Oh, Alonso's well up Hamilton's chuff now. Out of the hairpin. He's going for it. Yeah, he did it. Alonso's through. It's so stupid that you've got the DRS down the back straight, and then you've got the DRS to keep you ahead down the main straight. Yeah. I mean, he had a really, really good run out of the hairpin. Really, really good run out of the hairpin. Oof, Albon. Bloody hell. He was so quick through that. Jesus. I think Alonso's already out of DRS range instantly. No, actually, that's a lie. He's not. I was looking at the wrong time. But it's interesting. This fight with the top three right now is still pretty interesting. Because Verstappen hasn't... Oh, they haven't given Lewis a penalty for the unsafe release. I thought they would. I didn't think it would have been fair, but the way the stewards are. Anyway, Hamilton is out of DRS now. I think that Aston Martin is a little bit quicker. The grandstand feed. Oh, the with Daniel Ricciardo and Will Arnett. I might just quickly put it on just to see what it's like. I haven't experienced it yet. I think Max is just controlling the race. That's what I think's going on. But normally we would see him much further ahead than now. You know, but I think he's just managing his pace. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to go mad, does he? All right. I'm just having a look at the Ricciardo Will Arnett. Although in typical red button... Do you know what? The red button is so slow. And... you know what? I've already turned it off because the red button just isn't working. It's just not loading. Well, when you look at what the drivers have to do in the car with engine modes and strap modes and hi Daniel, yeah, I can see that you're fighting 5 cars ahead of you with 3 cars behind you. If you could just turn strap mode to BR37613, and if you just put engine mode onto X1374, brake bias forward by 4 notches. If you could just lift and coast in the corner and just try and get the tyre temperatures around 37 degrees. Front left, that is, not front right. Obviously, that needs to be 39. We need 40 degrees on the rear tyres as well, though. If you just manage your fuel a little bit as well, and we're going to pit in 3 laps, yeah? Okay, bye. What? What are you talking about? Can Alonso catch Verstappen? Nah. Was Lando noted for driving slowly under the safety car? Or just driving slowly in the race? Because Lando isn't a slow driver. And B, that would be bad, wouldn't it? Been noted by race control for just being too slow. Yeah, I thought it was the safety car. I was just memeing. Bloody hell, Perez has dropped 3.3 seconds behind the Ferraris. He's on fresh hards, they're on used mediums. I mean... he's not doing himself any favours, Perez, is he? Admittedly, Perez hasn't stopped yet, and he does need to stop, but when he stops, he'll be putting on the medium tyres. But still... it's not great, is it? We haven't even spoken about George Russell, lads. Lads and ladies. I can't, but do you know what? You don't see one of the top drivers putting it in the wall in an unforced error very often. It happens, but not that often, does it? Like, can you remember the last time Max Verstappen binned it from like a top 3 or 4 position in a race? I can't. Am I racing? No, I'm not doing any racing today. First of all, I need to give my hands a rest, and B, it's just chilling with Joe. Yeah, Leclerc's someone who has done it quite frequently. Joe's been on a hen weekend all weekend, so I'm going to just watch a film. Charles Leclerc has done it from the lead and from top positions. But if you look at Max Verstappen, like in a top 3 or 4 position, I can't ever imagine him like putting it in the wall. Now, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, because it obviously can. But it doesn't. You don't see it very often from like Verstappen or Hamilton. You see them crash in practice, in qualifying. You know, it happens. It doesn't happen that often. It's normally when it's coming together with another car, isn't it? Alonso just did a 16.8. Verstappen did a 16.9. Hamilton did a 17 flat. Yeah. Why have I got this notification? What? I've got this UI like right in the bottom of my. That's weird. Switch red. Like Verstappen doesn't, you know, he doesn't like crash out of the race very often, does he, from leading? You know, you don't really see that, do you? It doesn't really happen that. He doesn't really have many car failures when he's leading the race, really, does he? Doesn't really happen. In fact, it never happens, you know, it just doesn't happen. Yeah, he stopped. He stopped, Tilbo. He did another stop. Why? I don't know. So it looks like to me that Alonso's quicker than Hamilton. It looks like Verstappen's quicker than Alonso. Max is complaining about no grip on those tyres. Yeah, he still is the quickest car out there. He just did a 16.8. Alonso did a 17.2. Hamilton did a fairly slow 17.7. The question is, are they managing tyres? I mean, the answer's probably yes. You know what, right? George Russell has come out in 18th place, And he's in a DRS train. It's him, Gasly, De Vries, Hulkenberg, Zhou Guan Yu, Yuki Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, Alexander Albon at the front of it. How often is Alex Albon at the front of a DRS queue? Alex Albon is at the front of a DRS queue all the time. Oh, God. Oh, Magnussen's actually... He's dropped out of DRS? Oh, he's back in it. Oh, dear. It's funny. Max Verstappen is... He's doing what Lewis has done over the years. Like, oh, Bono, these tyres, man, they're dead. And then everyone else around him pits and he goes, Bono, these tyres feel great. Listen, this is... Yeah, just get on with it, mate. Come on. He's still the quickest on the bloody track. So, yeah, he's losing grip, but he's the quickest. So, it doesn't matter, does it? It looks like the top cars are going to stop again. It looks like they are. It seems to be leaning that way. So maybe Ferrari have brought themselves back into this. And Ferrari are going to try and push out a one-stop. But it looks... I don't know. We'll see. Grip is getting better, he says. Oh, God. Yeah. 7/10 quicker than Fernando Alonso that last lap. Max was. To be fair, these tyres can do that. They can go through a graining phase where they just offer up no grip, and then you pass through that graining phase, and they do get a lot more performance. Bits of the tyre just sort of break off and then fuse to the top of the tyre, and then it's like, you know, driving on Bambi's skates, you know? But then eventually you work through it. Yuki Tsunoda in 13th place. He's now right behind Kevin Magnussen, who's dropped out of the DRS of Albon now. Yeah, see, Alonso just did a 16.9, only a 10 slower than Verstappen, whereas Hamilton was much slower. Considering the hit George Russell had, I'm actually quite surprised that he's still in the race. Because he had a big old hit on that right side. He had a big old hit on that right rear and the left rear. Yeah, to be honest, they've been investigating this Norris thing for about 10 years. I don't know how they're still not... I mean, I don't understand how they can investigate him for driving unnecessarily slowly. I need to see a replay of what he was doing and where he was doing it. Hmm. Charles Leclerc. Oh. K-Mag. Through goes Russell. Oh. Oh, you morons. You... Oh, God. Oh, dear. That was unfortunate, wasn't it? It said that was Sonoda, but that was De Vries, was it not? Or was it Sonoda? Oh, I tell you what. He really pushed... He really pushed K-Mag off there, didn't he? Like, he took another turn in to push him off at turn 1. He literally... He pulled away and then pushed him back. That was naughty. Yeah, it is Nick De Vries. I thought it was. Yeah, but the graphic was saying it was Yuki Tsunoda. And I was like, no, it's not. Nick pushed K-Mag off there in a really unfair way. And then he got through and then outbraked himself. Oh, man. K-Mag will be furious, man. K-Mag will be fuming. So Norris is pitted again. Now, here's what's interesting. Verstappen, Alonso can go onto a new set of hards if they want, but the Mercedes cars don't have a second set of hard tires, so they'd have to put another set of they'd have to put a set of mediums on. If Russell's got up to 11th after all that. Oh, Russell's in 9th now. Look at him go. But you wonder whether George is going to have to pit again. Because all these cars are pitting again. You wonder whether they're going to have to as well. Half race distance. No, well, yeah, just over half race distance, so... Ferrari have done 38 laps on this medium tyre on fuel. So I'm pretty sure the medium will last. Like, Perez is pitting. Piastri's pitting. I think De Vries hasn't really done that well, has he? He hasn't really done that well. He's a Formula E world champion, but yeah, he's not really covered himself in glory since he joined Formula One, has he? George Russell's up to 8th place, but the question is, will he need to pit again? So this was... Okay, so Lando was back in the pack up at turn 10 so they could double stack the McLarens. This is very similar to what Bottas was doing at Saudi a couple years ago. Trying to stop Max Verstappen. He was slowing him down. Do you remember? Carlos Sainz is now finally pitting for Ferrari. Presumably they're going to put the Hadz on, go to the end of the race, live life, prosper. Yes, there you go. Got Sainz is well ahead of Perez. Well ahead of him. They're telling Hamilton to use the tyre, and he's like, I am already using it. He's like, I don't think I've got anything else, guys. I'm using it. Well, Leclerc will be miles ahead of Sergio Perez. Yeah, Perez is... Yeah. Yeah, Ferrari haven't done too badly. They haven't really done too badly with strategy, to be fair. They made that medium tyre go a long way. We were all thinking it was a stupid strategy, but as it turns out, all the cars around them had to then stop again. So they gained track position when all those cars stopped into the safety car. I do think they've looked into it a little bit, because they can't have known that all those other cars were going to stop again so early. But, yeah. They're boxing Lewis. Presumably they don't want Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz overcutting them. I mean, there's times when I think Perez is good enough, but if I'm being 100% honest, no, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. But I don't think that's unusual. I don't think that's unusual. If you look at Mercedes over the years, Bottas wasn't exactly on Lewis's level, was he? You know? I think if you look at Rosberg, Hamilton, they were pretty even. I think there was a period where Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo in his prime, they were pretty even as well. You know, two really good drivers. I think there's guys who are way behind their teammates. Stroll is massively behind Alonso. I still think Sainz is a little bit behind Charles Leclerc. I think Perez is miles behind Max Verstappen. Well, that's the thing. He's a good number 2. I mean, people were talking about Lando Norris's contract and how... No, Charles Leclerc's contract, sorry. But if Charles Leclerc left Ferrari, where's he going to go? Honestly, where's he going to go? It looks like Hamilton is signing a new contract with Mercedes. George Russell already is in a contract. They're not going to take Charles Leclerc at Red Bull, are they? And upset the apple cart there. No bloody chance. They've got Max. He's dominating. They don't need to upset the apple cart there. So they're not going to do that. He's not going to go to Aston Martin because Fernando Alonso, is there. And Lance Stroll likely isn't going to be dropped. So where's he really realistically going to go? There really isn't anywhere. You know, 2026 is when the new engine regulations come in and Audi come into the sport. But we're in 2023. It's another 2 years between now and then. He ain't going to go to fucking Sauber, is he? It's just... Yeah. It is what it is for Charles Leclerc, I think. If we look at 2022, Ferrari had an opportunity there. They made mistakes. He made mistakes. They had an opportunity to push Max Verstappen. And then this year, they've sadly gone backwards. But it just is what it is, isn't it? So to be fair, Ferrari are not actually... They've not done bad at all. From where they started, they've still got opportunities in this race. Running long on that medium tyre. To be fair, for all the shit we give them, they've actually done all right. They've actually done all right. Like, fair play. Sainz will not attack him. I mean, Leclerc, in theory, Leclerc could catch Hamilton on the hard tyres. It's not out of the realms of possibility. So, yeah, you have to just see what his pace is like. The pace is pretty even at the minute. Alonso does 16.2, Hamilton 16.2, Leclerc 16.3, Sainz well off with a 17 flat. So they're pretty even. But we saw that Ferrari did like 38 laps on the medium on full fuel, so... I don't think Max needs to put his foot down though, does he? He's cruising. 4 seconds ahead of Alonso, but I think that gap could be a lot bigger if he wanted it to be. If he wanted that gap to be bigger, it could be, I think. Also, I love the fact of Sainz will not attack you. If I was a car, I'd be thinking... Well, of course he's not going to. He's 2 seconds back, mate. I've dropped him like a wet fish. Of course he's not attacking me. Because I've pulled away from him. Hamilton with the fastest lap out of nowhere. What the bloody helmet? We should probably talk about George Russell in 8th place. Now, George has only stopped once, whereas everyone else around him has stopped twice. Has Albon stopped once? Yeah, Albon has only stopped once as well. But the cars behind, like Ocon, Norris, Stroll, they've all stopped twice. The fact that Russell's been able to get to 8th is, like, fair play. Yeah, Max is being told that people behind are pushing more than he is. But yeah, fair play to George getting where he's got. Like, fair play to him, seriously. Considering. I'm impressed. Imagine if you put it in the wall again. Sorry. No, sorry, George. I'm just... It wouldn't be funny, but it would be funny, wouldn't it? And Max will bang in a fastest lap whenever he bloody wants to, mate. You better believe it. Max can put in a fastest lap whenever he wants to. Look at this, right? Max, 1:16.092. Alonso, 1:16.052. Hamilton, 1:16.005. Bloody hell. That's incredible. Hamilton then just did a 15.8. But Alonso is putting in quick times as well. Yeah, you're right, actually. He has gone back to blue. You're right. Is it because he's got a blue helmet on? Now, Sergio Perez, last lap, 16.2. Hamilton just did a 15.3. What the hell? I'm guessing that Alonso's cruising. So Alonso's been told to lift and coast, and he wants to stop doing it. Now, that wasn't like Fernando going, just let me tell and I'll start pushing. That was very much a, mate, you need to tell me when I can stop doing this because I need to start pushing. That was very much like a different, I need to stop doing this. I mean, Alonso isn't going to win. But I also don't think Hamilton will catch him. I think they all have fuel issues, don't they? They always, like, under-fuel to a certain extent. But I would have thought with the virtual safety car and the safety car, they would have had plenty of time to get that fuel delta sorted. But maybe not. George Russell could get himself up to 7th place here, lads. I tell you what, if he got himself up to 7th from smashing into the wall, causing a safety car, and then got up to 7th, I'll be impressed. I'll be impressed. Because at that point, the only cars he would be behind then are, the two Ferraris, the Red Bull, which would be fucking fair play. That would be fair play. I mean, Albon, honestly, he's a good racer, Albon, isn't he? I feel like since he's gone to, he's left Red Bull and gone places like Williams and stuff, I think he's really shown that he's good. I think it just proves that the Red Bull ecosystem just chews through drivers, and it's almost like, here's this car, it's difficult to drive, we've got Max who's been driving it for years and is comfortable with it, be as quick as he is. And they make mistakes and they crash, and then they're binned off before they have a chance to sort of really get up to speed. You would argue that Perez is the one that's been given the most time out of Gasly, Albon. Perez has been given more time than most, I'd argue. I don't know if you'd agree. You know, the last 3 races, he hasn't got that Red Bull into Q3. And it's one of the quickest cars. You know, this year, let's not get into the topic of, you know, most strongest car over the year or whatever, but this year, it's the quickest car by a long way. And he hasn't got into Q3 3 times. I mean, it's not great, is it? It's not great. Yeah, but the half a season I think is harsh. You know, one season I appreciate, but that coming in half a season is difficult. And then, okay, you give him a full season, but I don't think a full season is really enough. I think you need 2 full seasons minimum. I think. You can't include that half a season because the amount of time it would have taken him to get up to speed with the car and everything, right? I'm not sure it's fair. But anyway, it's water under the bridge now, isn't it? You know, Gasly crashed that Red Bull a few times and he was thrown to the wolves. Because you've got people like Helmut Marko that are basically like, yeah, he's shit. He fucking crashed. He's dog shit. He's not as quick as Max. Like, in the press. Like, so, yeah. Anyway, sidebar. Verstappen just did a 15.9. Previous lap, Alonso a 15.8. Hamilton was slower on a 16.1. So Alonso has picked up the pace. And as such, Hamilton has stopped catching him. Is there a man changing his trousers there in the background? No. He's just putting a jumper on. So is Russell going to go to the end on this set of Hadz? I guess he is. Because Albon and Russell are on Hadz that are 38 laps old. Whereas Ocon and Bottas behind them, their tyres are only 14 laps old. And Norris is on fresh Hadz. So these guys could get caught by this group of cars behind on fresh tyres, you know. I'm not sure if Russell's going to be able to hold this position on 40-lap-old tyres. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. Well, we know why he got the penalty, so they must know. They're just playing coy. He got the penalty for slowing down at turn 10, blocking the cars behind, so that they could double stack under the safety car. That's what he did. He did exactly what Bottas did at Saudi a couple of years ago. It's classic sportsmanship, backing up the pack a little bit so that when you go into the pits, you can double stack and no one can leapfrog you. Well, no, but that's what they said on commentary. That's what it was ages ago. In fact, they even said the corner. They said it was turn 10 because apparently they showed a replay of it and I wasn't paying attention, but Martin said that's what it was. So I don't know why Ted's acting like we don't know. They've talked about it on commentary. Martin was talking about it like 10, 15 minutes ago. Hmm. Got on my YouTube chat, right? I've got a bloody, like, heart at the bottom of my right that's covering some of the messages. I don't know how to get rid of it. How bloody hell do I get rid of that? Yeah, but I already have once. I've clicked on the heart, and then it just, like, it just stays there. What the fucking hell is it? What is it? What is it? Why can't I get rid of it? Please, YouTube. Anyway. Yeah, that's weird, man. It's just doing an animation now, permanently. What's going on? It's constantly playing the animation. I just want it to stop. I want it to stop. Please, guys, please. I beg of you. Please. Make it stop. Make it go away, please. I beg of you. Fucking hell. Russell. Russell. After fighting back to have to retire, that's so harsh. He's just got some damage to the front brakes. I mean, yeah, hit that why am I even telling you to stop? Hit that engagement. Love that. Oh, Georgie boy. Georgie boy. Engagement. I don't know if that's like, is that heart like a like? I don't think it is, right? I just don't know. Are you guys playing F1 later, are you? Is that the plan? I'm not going to be playing F1 tonight. I will play it tomorrow night, though. I will play it tomorrow night. Even when I'm looking at the Formula One out of the corner of my eye, because I've got a chat here and I've got a chat there, I can just see the animation. I can just see it. Yeah, I'm not playing Formula One. They're feeling a little bit better, but they're still sore. Like, it's like here and just all, like, across the joints here. Just sore. It's partly the vibrations of the wheel, which I have turned down a little bit. And obviously going golfing doesn't help. To be honest, I grip the golf club way too hard, and I know that. I just subconsciously do it. I don't mean to. This isn't just a recent problem though. I've noticed this for a while. Any sort of it's gonna sound weird, but any sort of gripping of everything. Like if I go do some gardening and I'm gripping a shovel for a little while, I'll feel it in my hands, you know? So yeah. But it's been really painful the last couple of days. No, it's a pain. Like when I put pressure on it, it's a pain. But when I bend my hands, it's like a dull ache. A dull ache is probably better. But that's more like a sharp pain. It's almost like your hand is bruised or something. Yeah, so Russell, early on in the race, hit the wall. He was struggling to keep up with Alonso. Hit the wall. Punctured his right rear tyre. Smashed his front wing. Pitted. It actually brought out a safety car, so he was able to put the Hadz on, go to the back of the grid. But it looks like after driving now for the rest of the race, his brakes are at a dangerous level now, probably because of the damage. And so he's had to retire. It can do, Flamer, because... And I'm not comparing these two, but have you ever been in a go-kart and your hands feel quite sore afterwards because of all the vibrations? And it's very similar to that, because the vibrations of the wheel over time. I notice this if I get in the rig for long periods of time. Like if I jump back and start racing again, I notice it. Probably just arthritis, you know. My mum has rheumatoid arthritis. I don't know if that's genetic. But yeah, I notice it a lot if I've been using the rig regularly. But I've turned down the vibrations a little bit now. But I think it's a combination of that and me going to the driving range regularly as well. You know, and if you duff a shot or you fuck a shot, you having that vibration go through the, you know, the club or whatever. And let me tell you, I duff some shots. So... So Hamilton's within 1.5 seconds of Alonso, but I just wonder if Alonso's just playing with his tyres. I don't know. Or whether he's actually struggling. It's hard to say. Well, what Ted's saying is it's not unsportsmanlike, but it is, because it's calculated from Lando. Listen, it's gamesmanship, but it's calculated to know, you know, it is what it is. Other drivers have tried to do it and be punished for it as well. It is what it is. I reckon Fernando will pick up the pace a little bit now and he'll pull away. We'll see. Fernando's a wily fox. He's very wily. We know how wily he is. Ten laps. Albon is holding 7th. Ocon's up to 8th. Norris is got that penalty, hasn't he? I think Lewis looks like he's pushing and Alonso looks like he's pushing as well. They're matching each other really well. I mean, Hamilton's last lap was a 1:15.972. Alonso's was a 1:15.912. So They are very, very equal. I don't think there's enough in the tank to catch Alonso. I don't think so. I think Alonso will have enough. Because I just don't think there's enough time. Alonso's been doing a few good laps now. The last few laps, Alonso's banged it in. It's actually been an interesting race, but it's not been. There's not been a lot of overtakes, has there? But with Ferrari running long and then Hamilton and Alonso, that's been quite interesting. Like we said before the race, who was going to win it was never in doubt. We knew who was going to win it. Hamilton's dropped back off Alonso now. I think he's given it everything that he had to close the gap, but it's just not quite enough. He was catching him, but now Alonso's plugged it now. Yeah, I think Alonso's got that covered. Alonso's got that covered, I think. It's been an interesting little fight. How long before Max asks what the fastest lap is and just puts in a really fast lap on the mediums? Because he's got pace in the bank as Verstappen, hasn't he? Perez has actually got up to 6th, but he's not really been anywhere, has he? I'm really surprised he hasn't caught the Ferraris. He's 10 seconds behind the Ferraris. That surprises me a little bit. Yeah. Not great for Perez. It is what it is, though. You know, he's got up to 6th. Will he be happy with that? I don't know. I don't know, Captain. Oh, Norris. Did he get it stopped? Oh, he went a bit deep. Lando should get DRS, though. Oh, they both got DRS. Oh, who's gonna... Oh, yeah. Bottas gives way. Gave way. Norris needs that because he's got a 5-second penalty. So he needs to get up the road because right now he would end up well out of the points with his penalty. Sadly, Piastri's dropped a little bit behind Stroll as well. Stroll is another one, man. Like, come on, Lance. Fucking 11th place. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Alonso's fighting for 2nd. Yeah. I wonder if the reason that the Williams is so fast in a straight line is because their floor's so shit it generates no downforce. You know, we saw a picture of their floor and it was so basic. Is that why their car's so quick in a straight line? It's because they just don't generate any downforce. So they're just terrible in the corners, but they're a bullet in a straight line. So Hamilton's now settled for 3rd, I think. He's not going to catch Alonso, and he's realised that now. Verstappen is, you know, Verstappen, again, is just going to get the 100th win for Red Bull, and he could have gone much faster if he wanted to. I genuinely think Red Bull have been racing at 60% all fucking season. Like, honestly, I think they haven't even shown their true pace because they haven't needed to. I think they're hiding pace. Not hiding it as in intentionally hiding it. They're so far ahead they can turn the engine down and still be much quicker than all these other teams. The thing is, everyone says, oh, he's not gonna ditch his son. At some point, you have to. Because you've got a car that can challenge for the constructors, and you've only got one driver performing. And if you look at it objectively, if that wasn't his son, someone else would have got the job by now. So if he's being objective, and bearing in mind, he's not the only owner. He's not like, I don't believe Lawrence Stroll is the sole owner. So there's other shareholders, there's other board members. At some point, you're going to have to assume that Lance Stroll's position within the team is going to have to be questioned. You have to assume it will be. Well, of course he's not, but it's not just his choice. He bought the team, but he's not the only person. He's got board members. He's not the only investor. Yeah. That rear wing on the Alpine is very loose. When it goes over a curb, bloody hell. It does look very unsafe, doesn't it? God, look at it. It shouldn't be wobbling like that. Look, Alonso's putting the car on the second row pretty much every bloody race. Lance needs to be getting more in the top 5, top 6 regularly, and he isn't. He's out with the bloody points again in a really fast car. Not for the first time. It's... I mean, you can't say that's a characteristic of the car. The rear wing is meant to be stable. It's not meant to be wobbling around like that. That's mental. Oh God, it's so wobbly. It's jelly wing. What the jelly wing? That wing needs to be looked into. That wing needs to be looked into. That's mental. What? Crofty's saying they might have designed it that way. At what point would they have designed the wing to move about like that? There's no benefit to that. Perez is pitting. Oh, I suppose he's got a gap to Albon. He's going to go for the fastest lap, is he? Soft tyres, fastest lap. Yeah. Perez is going to put soft tyres on and bin it into the wall on his fastest lap. God, God, that Williams is so fast down the straight, isn't it? It's so fast. Albon's got no DRS and no one can get past him. It's insane. What a banging result this would be for Albon, P7. If Albon could stay P7, like, he's worked for it. The wibble wobble. We've come up with this idea for a rear wing. We call it the jelly wing. It gives us zero aerodynamic benefit, but it will distract drivers behind us. Now, yeah, the other thing to consider is that which is a very good point, actually, to be fair, Tilbo, that car of Albon has all the upgrades on it. So the upgrade's working well. Here's the kicker, though. Logan Sargent isn't getting those upgrades for another 2 races. He didn't have them here, and he won't have them in Austria either. He isn't getting those upgrades until Silverstone. That's just an indication of the budget and the you know, the facilities. Max Verstappen wins! It was so difficult for him. I've never seen a more difficult race for Max Verstappen. He had so much competition. Alonso finishes 2nd. Hamilton 3rd. 2 Ferraris. You know, I was questioning their strategy, but, you know, 4th and 5th, they'll probably take it, you know. Alex Albon deserves driver of the day. Oh, Norris! Go on, Norris! Do him just for bants! Ocon. Yeah. On my graphic, it's not showing Lewis has finished. He doesn't have a checkered flag next to his name for some reason. Yeah, Albon P7 for Williams. That is a banging drive. Banging drive from him. I mean, it's just too easy for Red Bull, though, isn't it? It's just too easy. Every race, Max just wins without even having to work for it. Yeah. I think Alonso's engineer was suggesting without that problem they were going to challenge Verstappen. Is that? Well, one of those positions was Norris getting a 5-second penalty, Eddie. Not the best track for Mercedes. They said it themselves that this sort of track isn't good for them. So they'll probably be happy with that, I think. I think Austria will be very good for Red Bull, though, because that's a downforce circuit. Yeah. Yeah, no points for McLaren. Because Lando drops out of the points. Easy win for Max, though, isn't it? I don't know. Fuck it. Mate, do you know what? Max may as well just box off the World Championship and just go on holiday for the rest of the year. Yeah. Driver of the day, Alexander Albon. He deserved that. He deserved that. I mean, he was the driver of the day, wasn't he? Gets that Williams into P7, like. Summon the honey badger. Why does Lewis have his helmet on? Looks good for his age, Fernando Alonso, doesn't he? He still looks fresh. All things considered. Right. That's it for me. That's it. I'm gonna go chill. I'm gonna go chill for the evening. I enjoyed that. Enjoyed it. You know, it was what it was, and it is what it is. Yeah. I appreciate everyone tuning in to watch it with me. I will be back tomorrow on Twitch, as always. And we'll probably play some Formula 1. We might even try and get some Counter-Strike going. Oof, maybe. If there's hooning tonight, go hoon. Yeah. So I'll catch you tomorrow for hooning. I love you all. And I'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.